Happymailqueen. I have another Halloween project for you guys, but first I wanted to share a couple of new Lawn Fawn dies that I had purchased from my local scrapbook store. And the first one is this Scallop Treat Box Haunted House add-on. This is a set that you can use with the Scallop Treat Box. It's the die that creates a gable box, and with this die set you can use these elements to create like a little haunted house. So I really wanted to get this, and so I found it at my local scrapbook store. It was about $22, $22.50 as you can see here. And I did, do my homework and looked elsewhere and online, and with shipping and everything, it was going to come out to be about the same, if not a little more. So I decided to just go ahead and pick this up since the scrapbook store that I went to moved a little bit closer to me. So I was able to purchase that one, and I also got the Scallop Treat Box Winter House add-on. So I can't wait to play with this. I haven't done anything with this one yet, although I did take it out of the package already and I put it in one of these magnetic sheet, and that's all I've done so far with this one. But I did create a project with the Halloween add-on, so let me just go ahead and share that with you guys. I also subscribed to the Lawn Fawn YouTube channel, and I had seen a couple of videos by a couple of the design team members. Actually, one was or is the owner of Lawn Fawn, I believe, and the other one is Nichol Spohr, and I had subscribed to her, and she did a cute little demonstration on how you can decorate these treat boxes. So anyway, let me just share with you what I use. Now, I don't have the Scallop Treat Box die because at my local scrapbook store it was something like $35, and I just thought that was a little too pricey. So I decided to go ahead and use my Lori Whitlock Sizzix gable box die. This is actually called Scalloped Gable Box, and that is the item number there if you're interested. This is practically the same size as the Lawn Fawn treat box. It's just a little bit taller, I believe, here on the upper part, and instead of the two little holes here where you can put the ribbon, the Lawn Fawn die has that part cut out, so it kind of looks like a little handle. That is basically the only difference. The size is almost the same. So I didn't feel like I needed to purchase another gable box because I have this one. I have another one too that's a little bit bigger. So I decided to just see if this one was going to fit. And if you had seen Shoe Princess 1 do a die comparison, you're going to find that this gable box and the Lawn Fawn gable box is, again, almost the same size. So that's what I used. I also experimented with this die from White Lotus. I had purchased this on Amazon, and this is it makes a milk carton die, and it has a little window here where you can put in a piece of acetate, to keep it nice and closed. So I did use this first, and I got a little frustrated because when I cut this piece of cardstock here, it was cutting the crease part. So you really do have to use thicker paper for this die. I didn't think I needed to because it's, it's one of the thin dies. It's not like the bigger Sizzix dies, but yeah, you need a crease pad. So if you are going to use this die, I suggest you use thicker paper, or if you're going to use a thinner cardstock like this one, this is a DCWV cardstock, then you want to use a crease pad. Okay, so but yeah, I did do this. Is my first attempt, and then I was able to create a couple of milk carton boxes, and they came out fine. So let me just show you first of all, though, the Lawn Fawn. Okay, so these are the pieces. When you cut it, these are the pieces that you are going to get. You're going to get the roof, you're going to get the window, the door, which opens. Oops, sorry, it opens like that. See that? You get the little ghost, and I just cut one in black like a shadow, and in white cardstock. You also get this spooky cat, the tree, and a couple of the bats, so one larger and one smaller. So you get two other dies where it's just a rectangle. Let me just show you. You get this one here, and it just cuts the door so that you can layer this door frame over that one. And then you also have this one for the window. Okay, so let me just share with you guys what I made with those. So for my first box, this is what I created. And I basically followed a process video that Nichol Spohr had on her channel. She did a video, and what she did was she used cardstock, and I actually used this gray cardstock. I think she used like a darker gray, but this is 110-pound cardstock because I wanted to make sure that you know, my paper was nice and thick, and that this box was going to be nice and sturdy. So this was the gray paper that I had. I did some stenciling, just like Nichol did on her video. And this is the one I used. I see now that it is a little bit big for this box, but it still worked. And it's basically this brick stencil from the Crafter's Workshop. And let me see if it has a name, but anyway, it is a brick. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't have a name on there. But that's the one I used, and I basically used just my Distress ink pad. I used the black soot, and I just created this pattern with the stencil. And then you do have to cut two pieces of the, you know, from the gable box. You do have to cut two pieces, and then you connect the two together. And I cut all my pieces, and then instead of leaving the door you know, open, I actually put vellum behind, you know, on the inside actually, and also here on the window, so that I can put a tea light in there. And that's what somebody else did on the Lawn Fawn channel, and that's what I wanted to do. So as you can see here, I stickled the roof just to kind of you know, so you can kind of see the shingles on the roof a little better, because this was pretty dark, and you know, because I used black and gray, so there wasn't that much color to it, and especially when you cut the roof, it's all black. You can't really see the shingles, and so my husband was, you know, suggested that I, just for some contrast there, to just stickle it, and I did, and I think that came out really cute. What else did I do? I didn't do anything in the back except for the stenciling. I did put a tree here on the side and use some stickles. And I used the crystal stickles here because it does have a little bit of a green glitter in it. And that's what I used here too. I put this ribbon from Michael's, and then I put the black cat up there, and I also just stickled him up a little bit so that you can see him a little better. And then I added the ghost. I put a little bit of glitter paper behind the ghost. Let me just show you so you can see he has green eyes and a green mouth. And then I also put a little stickle on the door handle. So that is my first one. And for my second one, I created this box. And this one here, I used some spiders from my stash. It's one of the confetti spiders. I did something similar here at the door. I'll show you what else I did with this one, because I actually put a little image behind the door here so that when I put the tea light, you're going to see a shadow. You can't see it right now. I put another tree there, and see, as you can see here, yeah, it's kind of hard to see the shingles, as you can see here from afar. So that's why I stickled it. But for here, for this particular box, for some reason I didn't stickle the top. Now the only thing I did different here, because this part is a little bit taller than the Lawn Fawn gable box, I did have to cut the roof twice so that I can cover this whole part, because I think the Lawn Fawn is a little bit shorter. It's like about that much shorter, I think. So the roof actually covers the whole thing, except you can't have it hanging down like this. So if you want it to hang like a little awning, then you would have to cut two pieces and layer it. Okay, so I hope I made sense there. So yeah, this is how I created this one, and I used pattern paper on this one. And it worked out okay. It didn't, I was just very careful when I folded the edges. And then for the edges, I also used, I just used one of my lilac markers, Copic markers, this one right here. And this worked, it's the V04. It worked fine to cover up the white score line here. And just be careful when you're folding your creases so that the paper doesn't crack, because this paper is a little bit thin. So I put two windows on the back on this one, and then I also used the vellum behind it, and that's about it. And I just added this bow here because I didn't want to cover up the spider. I actually put it through here, but it was covering up the spider, so I decided to just get a dimensional and just stick the bow up there for now. And that's my second one. And for my third one here, I created a green one. I love this one. I think this one came out to be my favorite. I just love how those little spiders are just climbing up the walls of the house all over. And again, I did the door and one window, and I actually put a little ghost up here made of vellum this time, and I stickled him up a little bit. And I also cut a spider web here using the web die from White Lotus. I think it's from White Lotus, but anyway, it was gifted to me by Mimi. Thank you, girl. put a little twine there. I used the bats on this one, and I just put another bat there, another glittery spider web, and I did use a silver glitter paper there, glitter cardstock, and that's it. I kept everything else pretty simple, and that's what I created there. And I also decided to go back and create, go back to making the milk cartons. And so for this one I didn't use vellum, I did use acetate, but I did cut a rose gold glitter cardstock and made a cut spider web, put a spider there, a little, the little cat, and another little spider confetti. And for this one I just did that. Okay, but you can also put a ribbon through the holes there if you wanted. And then I made this one here also. And for this one, since the window was very wide, I just used 2 of the window die cuts, from the Lawn Fawn set, and just adhered it like that. And then added my tree, my bat, and again another one of those spider webs, and another clothespin here with some rhinestones, and that's it. I think they came out really cute, and I plan to make some more because I know my daughter's going to want to give some to her friends for Halloween. So let me just show you guys how it looks with the tea lights, because it looks so cool with the vellum and everything. So that was such a great idea by the ladies at the Lawn Fawn channel on YouTube. And so I'm just going to show you guys how this looks when the lights are off. I just have 3 tea lights here, so we're just going to do a couple of these boxes. So I'm going to turn off the lights just so you guys can see the effect. And as you can see already, it looks pretty good, right? But when you turn off the lights, it looks amazing. Oh, and on this one here, you'll see the little shadow. Okay, I'm going to turn off the light for a sec. Check that out. Isn't that cool? And then you get the shadow right here. I put a little cat behind the door here, behind the vellum, so it looks like you have somebody peeking at the door. See that? Isn't that cool? Yeah. Look at my ghost. Anyway, I'm going to turn on the light. So I thought that was really cute. I really love that little shadow of the cat right there. And oh look, I didn't put a doorknob. Don't open the door. There's somebody behind it. Okay, anyway, this was so much fun. So I hope you guys like it. Please leave a comment. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. And stay tuned for more Halloween projects from me. Okay guys, talk to you later. Bye!